menu got stew and ale. Leave your axe at the door.
Well, once everyone is in, let's have you all roll d20s. And this week, we will go over 2 questions, cover the last question last time, and then have a new question for everyone. Because half of the people weren't here for the first question. So, while I'm describing what happened last time, the people who were not here last time, I want you to think about who in the party would your character trust the most with their lives? And last week, we left from Calimport and its sister city to head north, venturing alongside people who were just traveling north out of the big cities, to go just into more of the landscape mountainous areas. People who wanted to take the long way to Calimport instead of going by boat, or just heading north to Deep Wash and the mountains up there, the Cloven Mountains. But before too long, about a day's travel, you encountered a person selling sweets. He had recently discovered that there was a way to make concentrated candy, or concentrated sugar into what he calls candy, or sugar bombs. And he and his fairy friend were having quite a good time selling these sweet treats to the travelers going north. And the party had a little bit of time browsing the selection and picking out some of the candies. The people who were not here last week can tell me if they would want to purchase any of his candies.
You do.
He has like an assortment of non-magical sweets, just like a couple copper pieces, a silver maybe, for just something sweet in your mouth. But if you actually wanted a magical effect to go along with the sweets you were eating, you could pay 10 gold, 20 gold, or 25 gold for various sweets and sugar bombs. If you will look in your handouts, you'll see under magic items, there's Freffle's sugar bombs. Last week they bought the Tricky Treats, the Levy Bubbles, the Peppermints, Hasty, Shielding Turtle, and a Doomsday Cookie. The 3 that were 10 gold were the Everlasting, the Tricky Treats, and the Kindle Egg sugar bombs. You did not purchase an Everlasting or a Kindle Egg. And the 20 gold were the Levy Bubble, Peppermints, Jolly Ooze Beam, and Hasty, and Tiny Tasty Tongue Twisties, and the Shielding Turtles. And then the 25 was the Doomsday Cookie, which had a very foreboding look to Freffle's face as Aja very gladly purchased it. I will share the treats you did not buy with you so you can see exactly what they do. And if you wanted to purchase any of them, let me know. But after partaking these particular sweets, they said that they would advertise a little bit to share, like, Freffle's amazing treats, as he was just a small business now, but he would like to expand, and he was traveling but would like to have a permanent location at some point. And so they headed up north after buying these sweets, and before getting to the crossroads to the mountains, they had a strange visitor in the middle of the night. A ghostly figure showed up when Aja was keeping watch, and it seemed like he was distressed. He was transparent, but it seemed like he was suffering from frigid temperatures. Being spring, it wasn't that cold at night. It was just like fairly cool. You need like a light jacket. But it seemed like this particular ghost was just begging for the fire that Aja had previously just put out. And after he felt the warmth from the fire, he kindly requested some of the meat that Aja had in her bag. While she did share this meat with him, it wasn't what she expected. He grabbed at the raw product, and his hand went right through and grabbed a cooked product, a ghostly cooked piece of meat, and he happily munched on that. This was a very confusing time, and Aja got up very quickly and woke up Loki for his watch and asked if she was crazy with this man who was eating ghostly meat. But he could see him as well. Loki could see the ghost. And when...
Doesn't mean she's not crazy.
No, but at least she wasn't hallucinating. This time.
I'm feeling crazy.
The other visions, maybe. But he was constantly talking about dangers in the surrounding area and being cold and hungry. But to her, there was nothing around. She couldn't see any kind of danger. He was mentioning beasts, but she couldn't see any. And just when they were just being when Aja was ready to go to bed, she saw that the man, whose name was Hans, started freaking out about something that she couldn't see, something that Loki couldn't see either. And he was attacked as a ghost by an invisible force. And he died again on the spot right next to the campfire. When his ghostly figure disappeared, all that was left was a gothic-looking lantern with a very light blue glow in the center. Loki investigated and found that it was a sort of an investigative lantern that showed someone dying, like the last few seconds of their life. So now they have that cool magic item. If you'd like to get that learn more about what that can do, you can take it to someone to get it identified. After having that harrowing time of a ghostly visitor, they set off north, and at the crossroads, they tried to decide if they wanted to go west to cross the mountains and go to the Spider Swamp to cut trail to Calimport. Ysera decided she was not ready for that kind of thing, and she was going to continue north if they decided to go west. But with Ysera's guidance, they managed to just decide to go north. Take the safe way. Don't go through the mountains, don't go through the swamp or the forest. But they continued north to Sardush, where they had they got an inn and spent some time in the bed. Before then, they had food, and Aja decided to sell a lot of the meat that she had collected to the cook in the back, who was very busy but graciously accepted her humble offer. Loki had a drink, and Sheila performed, earning a little bit of cash. The next day, they headed out, and Aja decided to show off her skills and snipe some of the forest critters that was along the path. It was very serene, kind of a I said the name last week, but I don't remember what
Disney
seasons.
Fantasia.
Oh yeah,
What you had said.
Vivaldi's seasons. That's right, spring.
Yeah.
It was
Four
like
seasons.
It was
And then
very peaceful.
I brought the winter.
and then after Aja killed a bunch of rabbits and possibly a deer, it turned into Fantasia's on the mountain with the devil. Ba 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 ba, and people saw her just like kill these creatures, and they, even though it was kind of busy, they kept a wide berth around the group as he continued west, which made it easier to travel because people weren't going to be in your way. And then after a couple days, the party saw a man who looked like he was praying next to some body next to the forest. And then he, beyond in the forest, were 4 undead creatures that were lurking towards him, very slowly shambling towards him. And the party decided to take the initiative and shoot first, ask questions later. Aja shot the first undead creature, and the creatures started rushing towards the party. The man next to the body looked up in surprise and was startled to see everything happening around him. With quick work, the party managed to down the 4 undead creatures, and the man wasn't too happy about that because he was a necromancer. He was just trying to make some friends. The body he was next to was a dead body, and he was trying to raise more friends. And the party just decided to kill his only friends. So he was kind of pissed off about that. Sheila gave him some money, and he graciously took the money and left into the woods, never to be seen again.
That's
But
right. Yeah, he was like, I'll take your money. Good day.
Yes.
Stormed
It was
off.
2 platinum, too, which was very generous.
Yeah.
It's not like you can't afford that, but it's very nice to you once again murdered this person's friends. They died before and they died again, but as compensation, he gave a little bit of money. And we ended with the party finishing in the logging town of Daromar, where this week we'll start and have the 3 people who were not here last time answer, who in the party would your character trust most with their life? We'll start with Ponderance.
Okay. Well, I think there's 2 possible options. When Ponderance met everyone, Loki obviously swept the tournament, and then being the winner seems the strongest, at least from
Pick me,
Ponderance
pick me.
perspectives. So probably in impressive feats or acts of strength, if that were the situation, it'd be Loki. But while we were like doing reconnaissance and learning about the tournament and stuff, we spent the most time like actually doing successful investigations with Aja. So I think Ponderance probably feels closest to Aja, and so if we need to like ask for help, probably be Aja.
All right. That sounds fantastic. Next up, Ashe.
For What is the exact question again?
Who in the party would your character trust the most with your life?
I should probably trust Cthulhu the most because he is like really big and he has all this armor and he's connected to his naturey people where they went to stay at one point while they were traveling on the road, and she felt very calm there.
All right, and Cthulhu.
Sorry, can you give me a minute? I'm trying to not have my contact come out of my eye.
Okay. We will have people start thinking about the next question as well for this week. What are your character's core moral beliefs? And if you know of it, Aja, I'd like to hear from you.
Sure. So Aja's core moral beliefs, I guess these kind of go with ideals. Her ideal is freedom. Everyone should be free to pursue his or her own livelihood. I feel like this also aligns with like the law. She's oh god. I guess if I think about it, she's just like, laws are silly. Like, I should be allowed to shoot animal if it's around and I can kill it. No law should stop me from hunting. And everyone should have, like, you know, the right to healthcare and the right to traveling around. Her whole thing is freedom to do what you want. Did I answer the question? Was that?
Yeah, those are to the core. That's what her moral beliefs are. Yeah, freedom.
Yeah, freedom. Yeah, I think she's really just all about freedom. Like, if somebody wants to, you know, build a house somewhere, they should be allowed to. Like, there should be no law saying, like, I'm sorry, you can't because you're this race or whatever. Very radical beliefs, I feel, maybe in this area.
Would Aja be okay if somebody had a pet bear?
Yeah, I mean, that's their freedom to have that. She would definitely not agree with it because bears are very dangerous, and in some way that goes against the bear's freedom.
How does the bear feel about it?
Yeah. So like, I feel like she would be very judgmental to people who had pet bears. That's why she doesn't have pets. She has.
What if it was mutually pets? Like they were friends?
If it's mutual, if it's like she's gonna cast, you know, speak with animals, and she's gonna talk to this bear, and she's gonna be like, "Hey, you okay? Do you need help? Look, I know I don't like bears, but you know, you should be allowed to do bear stuff." And if the bear's like, "Yeah, no, I was caught against my will," she's gonna help free that bear.
So,
And if the bear says,
do you have?
This is a great gig, man. I mean, this is the, you know, I love this guy. You know,
if the bear's that, then I'm like, all right, man, you do you.
So if somebody casts something like animal friendship, forcing the neutrality with the animal, is that okay? Is magic okay to be used in this sense?
Oh, interesting. No, magic is not okay to force someone to be your friend. She's not going to actively, like, you know, murder anyone who's using it, but she is going to just kind of like hold her nose up against it, just be like, that's very immoral. Like, you shouldn't force people to like you. And this is all, I think, because of her family history and how her father grew up. Which explains, like, you know, you're raised with your parents' ideas and beliefs and morals. So she's still very much carrying, what her father went through, being a slave and being like seen lesser than just because of his gender, and escaping that and finding freedom. And so he made sure to, teach Aja and her little brother, like, no, freedom is important and everybody deserves freedom. Everything deserves, the chance to do what they desire. There should be nothing held against them for that. So I think she would see magic as being like immoral.
Well, I am opposed to that freedom if their desire is to eat my face.
Are they free to eat your
Oh, man.
face?
Are
They're
they
not free to
eat?
eat my face.
Well, yeah. Like, it goes against, like, you can't, one person's or one being's freedom isn't more important than another being's, right? So I think in that it's like very neutral. In that, like, if you were able to,
Well, that makes life very hard for face eaters.
it does. Yes, it does.
You need to have a discussion with some illithids.
Source of food.
That's bringing up Asimov's 3 laws of robotics. You can't hurt another person unless they are trying to hurt somebody themselves.
Yeah. I think that's actually quite fair. Like, if somebody is trying to actively cause harm to someone else, that goes against that individual's freedom. So therefore, like, you should be allowed to use force to stop that person from trying to hurt another person.
And what if those people are safe away from the person that was trying to hurt?
They were what?
So then what if, let's say, okay, so somebody aggresses on somebody else. One person aggresses on somebody else, and a third party comes in and splits them apart. Is it okay for the original victim to then retaliate against the person that attacked them?
No, because they were already taken care of. It's not okay to, like, do extra, like, that person will be like, how dare you try and hurt me, even though you were stopped and you didn't actually get a chance to hurt me, so now I'm going to hurt you.
So why'd you kill that bear?
Why did I kill the bear? Because that bear attacked me.
But
that bear freaking gashed me up.
But the bear was neutralized.
Still, like, she still took it out, right?
It was blinded with rage.
In this one case.
Okay.
You can have ideals and fail to live up to them in every situation. It doesn't.
I just don't think you have. I don't think you can take a path of moral righteousness. Then
she's not taking a path of moral righteousness. She's far from it, if anything, because those align with laws, and she doesn't believe in laws.
There are no laws of nature.
There's no laws of gravity. Q gravity.
I'll float if I want. That was quite an in-depth answer, but this is a deep question to think about. Next up, Sheila, what are your character's core moral beliefs?
The power should be wielded with responsibility, and she has a strong wish to support the underdog.
All right. Well, you are all on a quest to regain. Well, you never actually had the power. You're trying to regain the lost memories and the power that people once wielded to their former owners. All the power was stolen from people and taken to something specific, and you want to give that power back to the people. Literally.
Yeah. Literally.
Loki,
Oh, yeah?
what are your character's core moral beliefs?
Loki has core moral beliefs?
That's the question. Does he?
Yes, Loki is like number one thing is loyalty. If he's thrown in with people, he's going to be loyal to people. And they're going to have to do something really extreme to break that loyalty. And that would be really bad. Besides being loyal to friends and family and valuing that trait above most everything else, it's is opposed to cruelty. Cruelty is never necessary. I mean, life is messy, and sometimes it's really hard to know what's the right thing, especially out in the wilderness. But no matter what you might have to do, there's never a reason to be cruel.
And next up is Ponderance. What are your character's core moral beliefs?
I mean, everyone picked one word, so I'm probably gonna say it's a sense of duty, but a little more complicated than just that. I had said before that Ponderance came from like a township of paladins that he ultimately left to pursue his own thing. I think he sort of resented the rigidity of rules and the defined purpose of worshipping a god from the paladins, and sort of set out to set his own tenets, which he ultimately found in his pursuit of the dream realm. Pretty much he has no like distinct sets of like rules of things a person absolutely has to do. Rather, you have like a duty to the people around you and to like define, I guess, personal tenets that are defensible. Yeah. That is to say, he really does not like, he does not care if you are lawful or not, but is maybe a little less respectful of people who are chaotic.
And yet Aja is the one you would trust with your life?
I mean, Aja's behavior showed reliability and lined up with Ponderance's tenets, so...
Okay.
I think he probably means something more like a person who is trying to destroy like societal norms. That kind of chaotic. Not necessarily like, oh, people who are aligned, whose alignment is chaotic.
Yeah, you could be chaotic and still respectable, but if you are like, you know, a thief out for themselves saying I can steal whatever I need to live my life because I can and I deserve it, that's not a respectable tenet. You have a duty to respect other people's like autonomy and tenets. But you know, if you were to, I don't know, steal a loaf of bread to feed your sister's starving son, then like sure.
But what if you stole it from a starving family?
Well, I guess it would depend on whether or not you took reasonable steps to identify if you're doing more harm than good. But
The person you stole from is a merchant that's trying to make money for their family who is starving.
So you're saying Ponderance is a utilitarian.
yeah. I mean, I think he leans utilitarian. I don't think it's like a checkbox.
Was that the dancing crab?
Huh?
What?
Somebody was playing the dancing crabs.
Now, nobody bring John Stuart Mill in this, or I'll be pissed.
Only Thomas Paine.
Ashe, what is your character's core moral beliefs?
Ashe is innately good, and like her deity, believes in compassion and helping people. But also in knowledge, in the fact that essentially knowledge is power, but that you should use it to help people.
And Cahoon, do you have an answer for both questions?
What was the first one again?
Who in the party would your character trust the most with your life?
It's
At
okay
this
to
point-
say no one.
At this point, I mean, probably Ashe. Probably Ashe. Yeah.
Okay.
There's like, yeah. In a sense of like could confide in probably, and they would have their back. Just don't kind of holds Aja at like arm's length a little bit. Doesn't really know enough about Ponderance. Loki's a good dude. Just not really close to him. Kind of same with Sheila. Well, I don't know. I guess it's like I'd assumed like when we started that we had known each other prior, but I think the first time we met was on the boat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't know each other.
Yeah. So it just hasn't really
And so
You-
Ashe is Ashe the only one that's been to your
yeah.
place?
Is the only person that came with me. It's not so much like so along with the same like to kind of go into the tenets. He treats everyone equally, kind of like how I live, where it's like pretty much everyone is on the same playing field. And then like he'll have like opinions towards people, but doesn't hold it against them personally unless they do something to or for him, and that like moves them on the plane up or down on terms of like his opinion of them. And then like for tenants, it's kind of, I mean, as lawful neutral, he realizes that everyone has their own like ways that they live their life, and as long as they don't try to impose that on other people who don't wish to join in that society, then he's fine. So like at the same time as you can't try to force. So same way as like, let's say like if you have a criminal and like all criminals live by the same code, they have the same laws, they respect each other as criminals, but then they also try to live in society with laws of good, of that say that their way of life is bad. If them trying to live in a society with those people and use their way of life to subvert the laws of the people who signed that like pact. I don't know how to say it.
Good word. Social compact.
Yeah. Social contract. That's what it is. Which I think that's a Thomas Paine thing.
Probably.
But yeah, something like that.
Or John Stuart Mills.
Yeah. Where it's like yeah. But then also he's more nature just because he realized that nature just is what it is, that there's no ulterior motives in nature. So it's much more peaceful for him. It's easier to understand. It doesn't try to hide its intentions.
All right. And if you would want to know, quick, what answers from Miss Sarah would trust Ashe the most. She's been the one to take her from the place that she considers evil, and has been the most caring and concerning of all the people here. And then her core moral beliefs is she's trying to rediscover them. She's been in a place of shelter and keeping her from the outside world. So she's still trying to discover what in the world is right to her and what she believes in. If you get down to it, you could probably ask her what her goals are. But Ashe, along this whole trail to Calimport from Daymarsh, I said last time that you probably have been keeping as close to her as anyone else because she has learned the ways of Mishkal, and she has embraced Mishkal's teachings. That is why she's become a celestial warlock and trying to do better by what has happened. And so, if you wanted to think of questions you wanted to ask her, like after a session, you could just send them to me, and we can have a conversation about that. Learn more about her. But we will start with the party in Daramar. This
Can
logging.
I get candies too?
Yes. So
Buy
on
some
that
candies.
on
and,
that
and
list.
Buy me a,
On that list, the first 3 are worth 10 gold. The levy bubble to the shielding ones are worth 20, and the doomsday cookies worth 25.
Okay.
What did you have, Loki?
pick me up some tiny, tasty tongue twisties and some peppermints.
We can retcon you for getting that if you wanted to just spend your gold on that.
Sorry, you
Whoever's...
said the top
that-
3 are 10?
Yes.
Okay.
And so those are 20 each, so I will subtract 40 gold, and I will add a tiny, tasty tongue twisty and a peppermints to my list.
5.
Daramar is the logging town that cuts down from the Forest of Mir and sends their logs down the river to Miratma, where they can be processed and turned into various items. I forgot last time, but Aja, though your visions while you have your long rests, although your visions aren't as severe as the one you had in Daymarsh, you still have ones that you've kind of like memories, but not like you're there and it's as if you were experiencing this before, but you don't remember them. Like you'll have a vision of your younger self at a beach with your parents, and you as you are playing either in the sand or going to the water, the vision fades once you enter the water past your waist. And there will be other times when you're out, visions of you going boating when you were younger self, and looking over the edge and deciding to go swimming. You jump in the water, and as you look out into the open water, the vision fades to black. There's also been times where you're in Daymarsh and you go to the docks for your job, and you go to the market there, and you have this craving for some fish, and you go there, you pay for them, and as you look down at the fish that you bought, you have a craving to just go for it. And you start eating it raw there. And as that happens, it fades to black. And then the most severe of your visions, as you are in your trance, are you're on a boat, much like the one that you were had that vision in Daymarsh where it went under, but you are on a fishing boat that caught a fish full, net full of fish, and you just have an overwhelming urge to like just tear open the net and thrash at the fish inside. But as you do so, it fades to black. So keep in mind that even though you don't experience, like the sword isn't in the open air or next to you at all, you still are having these visions as you are making your way to Calimport.
Of eating sashimi. Is that right? Is it like, are these, how do I feel? Are these making me scared, or are these...
How
like, what is my emotional state with
how...
with these visions?
So they're not as severe as going overboard in a storm and taking a lungful of air or a lungful of water. It's not as extreme as that. It may be kind of just weird. Why are you having these sensations? You're having memories that didn't exist. You having like cravings for raw fish, just like right there in the middle of the market. So it's probably a sense of unease, oddities. If you were actually a person who dreamed, these would be in your dreams, but they are visions in your trance.
Okay.
Okay. So the next decision that you all had to make was if you wanted to continue down the road from Daramir to the next location, you could, or you could take one of the boats, one of the trade boats that took logs from Daramir to Miratma. It's a little bit shorter trip, but depending on how you feel, you've had unease with ships thus far. So, what would you like to do?
Anyone still have a problem with a ship?
It's a...
I guess not as much. Like, I keep having visions, but I'm not... I don't know. Maybe this is that weird dreaming thing that you guys do. So I guess I'm not as concerned about it.
I think we should give it a try and see what happens.
Just makes me a little seasick sometimes. It rocks back and forth a little bit too much. But
if Ashe is okay with it.
Well, I suggest you
I
don't eat any
do.
spicy food beforehand, then.
well, that is not something that is palatable in the first place.
It is 2 silver per person if you'd like to take the ship.
Oh my goodness. We'll be so poor.
I spent all my money on candy.
You spent all your money on
Oh. 100 platinum worth.
Oh, by the way, I was going to say, if anybody is now short on after having provisioned yourself with your 100 platinum pieces, if you're now short, I still have some platinum left. Is there something you really need?
I'm actually still really good. If I can pay for the trip if needed. I have enough silver.
Did
Okay,
we
so I guess we're
incur
taking
major
the boat.
expenses? I still have my
paid for mine.
platinum.
Some people did shopping, just like before we left Daymarsh, we did some quick shopping to get provisions or whatever.
You could also wait until you get to Calimport. It's a much larger city, and money goes further there.
Gotcha.
Ashe would have only really bought stuff for the trip.
Only 12 silver? I can pitch that. I can do that. 12 silver.
Could you remind me the prices of the tongue twister and the levitation candies?
The pack of Lovely Bubble and the tongue twisters were 20 gold each.
I see. Would I have retroactively bought some?
And the tongue twisters are 12 per 20.
It's a good deal.
And the pack was, I believe, 5 per 10 or 20. 5 per 20.
Okay, yeah, Ponderance is good to go. Take a nap, the boat's rocking, puts him to sleep.
Okay. So I'll pay your 2 silver to get on these logs that are tied together. Fairly quick way to travel. It's both to make money from passengers and to deliver goods down the river. And it's pretty fast considering it's faster to go this way other than walking. So it takes you probably about 5 days instead of 10 days to get to Miratma. This is a small production town that obviously takes the logs that they receive, creates various kinds of wooden items, furniture, and artwork, and whatnot, weapons, bows and arrows and such. And they ship them out, either going south towards Calimport or taking the boat up towards Athkatla to make the most money. So you have a quick stop there. If you want to do anything, you can. But if not, we will continue on south. Alright. And so you continue south down the road towards Menon. This is a very much smaller town. They don't have much in the way of crafting or trading. It's more of a pit stop. Last pit stop before you cross the Calim Desert to Calimport. So people are likely here to stock up on provisions and whatnot. Get all the water they can before they brave the big desert to Calimport. But these people are less likely to do so. You're more likely to find people who can't afford a boat to Calimport around the peninsula, or people who just want to save money and brave the desert on their own. And as you are leaving Menon, there is a small pile of rocks, probably 3 or 4 feet high, and on the it sort of looks like a shrine. So there's a base and then a pile of rocks behind the base in this look of a tombstone. But on the face of the front, there is a large circle with the profile of a woman's face on it. The base of this pile of rocks, this shrine, has a several dozen different kinds of coin just laying there. People will come by, toss a copper or a silver onto there, and then head on their way. It looks like people are very trusting of this shrine to whomever. if you'd like to examine it or make a donation, you can. Otherwise, you can move on.
I would like to.
Okay. Is anyone proficient in religion?
That's a good question.
I would hope our cleric and our paladin.
Yes, I am.
I
No,
also am.
I am not.
Okay. Those who are not proficient can make a religion roll. Those who are proficient will automatically know who this is.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm gonna wait for them to tell me who it is.
I suck at religion.
You are better than the paladin. So Ponderance, Aja, and Loki, you all recognize this profile, this woman's profile, to be Timora, the goddess of fortune. Her symbol is her face on a coin, and you very much recognize it as the platinum coin piece. And it's right there on your cash. People
What's
seem
her
to
name?
really want to give fortune or receive fortune from Timora.
What's her
So-
name again? Ah, Timora. Yes. Okay. I would like to leave a coin at the shrine.
Okay.
I'll leave one platinum piece.
Anyone else? Ash, you said you would like to?
Sure, I got plenty to spare. And Loki won it, so I'll do it too.
A platinum?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, I will also put a. My nose.
All right. You all lay down a platinum. They are strikingly different than the other coins that have been placed here. Majority are copper, and then
Yeah.
silver, and then gold, and then it looks like the 3 platinum that you placed are the only ones there. But as you leave, people see this and do not take from the shrine. They seem to want to keep your donation in its place.
That would be pretty bad luck.
She's the goddess of fortune, not good fortune. So,
Well.
yeah.
Nevertheless, yeah.
I mean,
Uh.
it's a pretty cool leave a platinum, take a platinum system. I like it.
Leave a coin, take a coin.
Leave a copper, take a platinum.
Right.
All right, so you venture on the trail into the desert. I don't know if some people recognize the art that is on here. I decided to leave it because of nostalgia.
Finally, this looks like what my D&D games used to look like.
How to cross this bridge? Oh, the horse is still tied up.
Get a boat and just leave it there.
Wait. What? How is the horse tied up on a tree in the middle of the desert? Crossing, that's just the most absurd situation.
Well, I'd like you to think of a better way to get across this river.
I don't know, but if I got across the river, I wouldn't do so to tie up my horse I left on the other side.
No, the horse, I believe, got across by itself, but we had like tied it up and it like made it across the river. And then we like shimmied across the rope, I believe. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure that's what we did. That or it was like something about ice cubes. Like we just kept standing on an ice block.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. Those last people. Just ice cubes. Alright, so you head into the desert. The rocky, packed dirt quickly leads to loose sand, though it is still a pretty developed road. It looks like the elements have made their best attempt to try to hide the road. The amount of travelers going through here is enough that the upkeep for a road down south to Calimport is still structurally there. And as you are heading down, it takes some time with the sun beating down. You notice there aren't a whole lot of travelers on the road. As you're walking, you notice that at various spots, people have set up camp, supposedly to hide from the heat and then travel at night when the sands are not trying to kill them.
Well, that's the way to do it.
So I don't know if we don't really have Delta here, so water-based isn't as prevalent. But do people have some sort of way to either shield yourself from the heat or beat the dehydration? I know that you have water skins, but those will go by pretty fast if you rely on them.
Somebody have like create one spell?
I do not.
Don't look at me.
Nope. We can meditate, set an intention towards water. The monk can lead that, but otherwise.
I have poison spray. That's like water. It's just a bad water.
Well, I think this is daytime now, right?
Yes, currently.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that we should take shade and do our rest. And while we're resting, someone who has that capability to learn to make water could do that. And then we could set out during the cool of the night.
I just realized I was still muted. I have that, and I second that that's a good idea.
You have some way of creating water?
Yes.
Okay. Since you knew you were going to the desert, you can always say that you prepared that in
That's what I was thinking. I just was muted, so every time I tried to say it.
Okay. So you can attempt to find shelter. If you'd like to
Talk.
If you'd like to talk.
To tomatoes.
If you'd like to create some sort of shade for yourself, you can continue to walk like a canopy, or something to prevent heat or prevent direct sunlight. Ponderance seems to have a good idea with his face mask. Or you can set up camp and travel at night if you'd rather.
I think we should set up camp and travel at night.
Can I ask a question?
You just did, but you can ask another one.
So we know that rocks are made of minerals, and sand is minerals that can make up rocks. So could I use stone shape to make us some kind of shade thing out of the sand?
Well, I would not say that sand is a stone specifically, but along this path you do find stones around that you can use as that spell.
Okay. I will also do.
Just for, like, in the future, know that you can't use that spell with sand, but you can use it with stones in this case.
Gotcha.
Stand is just tiny stones.
Exactly. Turn that off in favor of that.
With the animals that I had murdered, I'd gotten 5 pounds of rabbit body. Can I see how much fur I'm able to gather from that, like to skin them? So maybe I could sew the skins together and create a little umbrella.
A rabbit umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rabbit parasol.
Make a medicine or a survival check.
It's a aerosol.
And we'll just rest here in the desert for a day or two while you do that.
It's a 20.
I don't need to wait that long. She skinned it pretty well, and probably in towns she was able to tan them and get a nice leather out of them. Probably work her way up towards some clothing if she'd like. But,
You just need human urine to tan. That's all you need. And sunlight.
I think she
yes.
It's true. Yeah, you need urine.
You are able to make an umbrella out of Thumper.
Heck yeah. And we have rabbit meat for rabbit stew. Rabbit for parasol.
All right. Anyone else have a shelter that you can make? You can just go
I do.
with tents if you like, but
No, I'll throw up my Lehman. Yep, I got Lehman's.
Lehman's tiny hut. You keep breaking out. Like, you don't finish this.
Oh, I am?
Yeah, you have acne.
Sorry. Have my because Milo talks kind of loud. Echo I gained. I will cast Lehman's.
all right. So you are able to gather the resources you need to prevent heat stroke and dehydration and whatnot. Whether it's creating water, sheltering yourself from the sun, or otherwise. And so you get into the desert and realize that some people have stopped and are trying to do their best in making their way across this hot desert. And so you go off to the side of the road, and Sheila casts her Layman's tiny hut. After 11 minutes, she gets her dome out, and I'm not sure what Ashe would want to do with the stone shape, but she also has create water, to give everyone enough hydration for the rest of the day. And as you are getting this camp set up, you all see that heading south on the road are 4 individuals who seem like they are really pushing it to get down south. They're just on the road, don't really care about what the sun is. You do see that they are protecting themselves through cloth or canopies, that kind of thing. But they seem determined to quickly get south. And yeah, you set up camp and have your rests until the sun goes down. And who would like to have light out to see where you're going?
I have a couple torches. I can take one out if no one will.
Okay. And
That's all I got.
what is marching order?
Aja's fine being behind, since I can see in the dark pretty well.
Ash also has dark vision.
Okay, I'll go first. Can I tie a torch to my dancing longsword to hold it out in front of us?
Sure. It's a little bit harder to control because it has some weight to it, but you can keep it pretty steady. As long as you're trying not to hit things with it, you can hold it out with your sword and levitate it.
Yeah.
I'm also going to light a torch, and I'll take the rear position.
Okay. So it's Ponderance, Ashe, Aja, Cahoon, Sheila, and Loki.
Yeah, probably.
Sure.
Okay. So the drastic difference between the day and the night in heat is quite a bit. You can still feel the sand on your shoes or feet equipment seeping up through it, but everywhere else other than your feet, you are surrounded by a chill of the night. It's an odd feeling to have your feet be warm while the rest of you has a slight chill to it. But you do manage to make your way down the path south to Calimport. And once you're walking this distance, and you can tell that the sun is starting to come out. It's much easier for you now to go and find a spot to camp for the day. And you head off the path and do once again what you did the night before. Or the day before. And get the hut up, get water out, and all that stuff. And as you are getting ready to sleep for the day, shield yourself from the sun that's just pushing its way towards the middle of the sky. Off in the distance to the east, you see an oasis. There is quite a bit of water in this area. It's pretty lush. You can also see a bunch of people that are moving towards that area. It looks like it has some shade. Water is good. Their last pit stop in Maratma was a lot, but they need to refill their water skins. So they're headed towards this oasis. If you'd like to go and check out what's up, you can, or you can camp for the night, and or for the day. Keep forgetting, camp for the day, and wait until night to continue on south.
I want to check out.
Okay.
Anybody want to head over to the oasis? You said.
Yeah.
I'll go over.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So those who'd like to check it out, head in that direction. You have your hut here, just for when you need it to come back. It's not going anywhere, literally. Well, I guess no. If Sheila's going, it disappears. Sorry. Yeah. Erase all that I just said. As you all head towards this oasis. And as you get closer, you do notice that there are a lot of civilians here that are filling their water skins, splashing water on their face. It seems like a pretty good time. What would you like to do?
I'd like to check for traps.
Okay. Roll investigation. You can all look around if you want. Investigation or perception.
Oh, well, shit. I was gonna investigate the people.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, one sec. There we go.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm glad I didn't do investigation.
Well, you rolled an 18, so it's still pretty good. So, Aja, Loki, and Ashe, you're looking around. You have heard of like just mirages in the middle of the desert. People with heat stroke, hallucinations. The heat from the sand coming up off creates what looks like water in the ground. But as you look around, it looks real. People are splashing themselves. Seems like the water is real. You check around, you look at the grass, you touch grass, and it feels real. And yeah, it seems like it's just a wellspring coming from underneath and filling this little area. Cahoon, you look at the people. They look just like people trying to survive. And they have had a rough few days going through this desert, and they want to cool off, fill their water skins.
Coming from the mountains and okay with the water, this is Cthulhu's least enjoyable experience so far.
Would anyone like to drink from the water, get in the water, fill your water skins, anything like that? Take
Yes.
some grass.
Yeah, I'm gonna strip down and do a cannonball.
No!
Are you wearing your common clothes underneath your armor, or are you taking it all off?
When was your last bath?
Well, that's why I'm taking it all off.
Okay.
God.
People drink from this water?
Aja gets her water can ready and then sees a sprinting naked Loki and just like, oh, okay, I'll put this back.
You see Loki jump into the water. The people kind of are having a good time. They see Loki jump in, and they feel like it's a good thing. It's enjoyable. Like, you've been sweating and gross and sandy, and it's good to cool off. Some people join you, though they don't get down to their skins. They have just undergarments that they keep on, but yeah, people join you in the water and splash around and whatnot. Is there anyone else who would like to partake in this oasis?
Is the water
See.
clean?
With that perception, you
anymore.
look in, and it is like it's crystal clear. You can see the sand underneath. You can actually see the area from which the underground spring is filtering all this water through the sand coming up. It's very clear.
Okay. Yeah, I would get some water too then.
Seeing it safe, Ponderance will join. Maybe clean some of his wrappings.
Okay. Is there anyone else who'd like to look around and get some good times in? So far, we have Loki, Ashe, and Ponderance.
I'll fill up my water, but then I'm just gonna sit in shade.
Is there shade? Is there like there's
Yeah.
grass, but is there trees and
I
stuff?
saw a couple trees drawn at the end.
Yeah, I didn't draw a lot of trees, but there are some spots where trees have been thriving and they come out and they.
Is there any fruit on these trees?
Yeah, it looks authentic palm trees, coconuts.
Oh, heck yeah, I'm gonna try and harvest some coconuts.
Okay.
Drink coconut water.
You can roll a survival or a nature.
Survival.
Heckin' coconuts.
17.
You can pretty easily shimmy up the trees and grab some of these coconuts and pull them off. With that 17, you can also like cut off the outside skin and really get at the fruit in the middle.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy some coconut. And I'll eat one coconut. How many coconuts do you think I got?
How much diarrhea do you want to have?
2?
2.
2 coconuts. Does coconut give you diarrhea?
Coconuts.
Are you allergic to coconuts?
No, if you drink too much coconut water.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, didn't know that. But yeah, Aja will eat a coconut, one coconut, and then I'm gonna try and cleanly break it in half and just start making the horse sounds.
People look around, it's like, what? Why is a horse in these dunes?
Cold person. I'm just kidding.
Old person, you're annoying. Stop.
All right. So you are all. It's a sign of good fortune coming across this oasis out in the middle of desert. Just being sweaty and gross from before, and just sitting in the shade, swimming in the water, drinking coconut water, filling your water skins, and
I'm gonna wash my clothes.
Yeah. Forget prestidigitation. You can use the real thing. After like half an hour of this, everyone who's been around, you hear something in your mind. It's like some whisper, it's like the winds of the dunes talking to you. It sounds very faint, but it's there. And
is it Mariah? Never mind. They call the wind Mariah. Never mind.
I was gonna say in this case it's probably Pariah Gary.
Sorry, I was just checking people's stuff. As you hear these wind whispers, Ashe, you recognize it. You recognize that it's a language. You hear in your minds, "It's been difficult to travel. Come in deeper into the water. All your troubles will be gone if you come deeper."
Does everyone hear the words, or is it just like a different language?
Everyone else hears just like the wind going through their heads. Ashe and Ashe are the only ones who actually understand it's a language.
Could we recognize what language?
I want you to roll a history to see if you recognize the language.
It's a 12. It's been 1 week.
Ashe, it's you know it's familiar. You recognize it from somewhere, but Ashe, you know the structure of the words and how it's said. You know it's deep speech. And does somebody have proficiency in insight?
Yes.
I do.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
My insights, yes.
Okay, if you have that little blue check mark next to insight.
Yeah.
If you have proficiency in insight, then you would see this. If not, you don't even notice this. But while you hear the whispers, you notice that the civilians around you, they kind of look at each other as they get this weird expression on their face. They look around as if something's there, but it's not. And they kind of shake their heads and go back to what they were doing.
Can I make an intelligence check? See if like this is a mirage or something?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Ashe, so did Ashe, like, she heard the voice, right?
She heard the voice, but can't really pick out the
Language?
definite language. You just know that it's pretty familiar. Cahoon, this is real. This is all just real.
Okay.
Yes, you understood what it said.
I'm too annoyed at the sand to be able to see anything.
Asha's gonna get up and be like, "Alright, pool time closed. Time to get out of water, everyone. Get out of water for your own safety."
Thank fucking good. You to get away from this.
Oh, that wasn't just the wind. That was something else.
Someone took
Something
a psychic dump in
threatening.
the oasis.
Yes. So, but it's a biohazard now at this point. Everyone, get out! Get out! Look at that.
Oh, come on, the water's fine.
Ashe, I want you to roll persuasion.
Okay.
Because people are having a good time. Why should they?
It's a 12. Nobody listens.
The people
to
are
Elf.
like, no, we're having a good time. It's fine. See, it's real. It's real water. It's hot out. We want to swim. It's fine.
I understand, but like there's something there. Just don't go too deep. Don't go too deep.
And now that you said it, I'm going into the
Oh,
water.
God.
I'm swimming down.
I cup water in my hands and I run up and I throw it on Aja.
Great, now I'm wet. That's not the issue. It's not the water is wet. It's there's something in there. There's something threatening Don't go deep. Just go like, like knee high. Knee high is fine. Don't go past knees.
Ni hao?
Knee high.
Cahoon, what are you looking for?
Well, the insight was just before she said there's something in there. That was the insight was to see like her intentions.
You know Aja is concerned. You just don't really know why. Like it looks fine.
Like I'm genuinely concerned.
Do
Like
you-
I don't want to fight.
Yeah. So then I would get up and walk towards the water and yell as menacing as possible. Get out now before I drag you out.
Okay,
All of you.
roll intimidation. Yeah, they see your size and they're really disappointed and upset that, like, their good time has been ruined by this group of adventurers that just had a bad feeling, quote unquote. Like, okay, fine, we'll get out. Jeez, I'll have to repeat yourself. And so they're all like they'll get out, but it's very slow and like longing to go back in, and they'll squeegee out their clothes and like start getting ready to head back to the road.
I'm gonna walk over to Aja and ask her subtly, "What is it?"
I don't know. There was like, that noise. There was a voice, and it said like, "Yes, swim deeper, deeper. Yes, do it." And it sounded very menacing, and I don't want to get in a fight right now. It's very hot. It's very hot. Too hot to be moving around, running, fighting. Best to just be safe. I don't know if you guys heard the voice, but
Well, I didn't hear no voice, but I don't think it'd be right to just leave something like that out here to just prey on unsuspecting travelers who will probably living off of, probably killing people every day.
What are you all talking about? This is just an ordinary, lovely oasis. We should just enjoy it.
no, there's definitely something sinister down there. Did you ever touch the bottom when
Alex?
you were in? It's
Well,
much deeper, I bet.
I could go find out.
No, don't do that. But you didn't feel the bottom, right?
With my feet. I didn't go all the way out. No,
Yeah, so
I don't
it's
swim really great.
much deeper than I imagine you would expect. And just don't think it's a good idea. Better be cautious, safe on the side.
Okay, so you
Okay, Dad, I got out of the water.
Mom and Dad ruining your fun. Okay, so you stay long enough to see all the civilians go back to the road. Now that they are covered in water and cooled off, they feel like it's safe enough to travel down the road today and try and make as much progress as they can. And after they leave, you can go back to the road if you'd like.
Are there any heavy rocks around the oasis?
Not around the oasis. It looks like it's just sand and then water. There's a lot of grass, some trees. The largest stones are probably like between baseball and basketball sized.
I feel like a baseball would be acceptable. Aja's going to take one of the dead rabbits that she had killed out of her bag of holding and tie it to a rock and throw it to the water and be like, "Thank you for not eating us. Hope this appeases you."
You hear the voice again. The two of you recognize it. You will regret this. Come back when you truly need it.
When you truly need it?
Yeah. Everyone else didn't hear the wind whispers. It was just the two of you who understood it last time. Heard the voice again. It seems to recognize your ability to understand it.
Can I roll, I guess, insight to see if any of my other party members heard it? Because I don't
yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Asha has declared. Okay, 24.
Ashe, do you show signs of hearing the voice again?
Yes.
Okay, you know that Ashe heard it. I don't know if you say anything, but you do notice that the rest of the party seems unconcerned.
Okay. I'll go to Ashe and be like, you heard it, didn't you?
Ashe will nod.
I don't really want to come back here. I don't want to find out what that was. But do you know what language it was?
I did. What was it? I'm sorry.
It's deep speech.
It's deep speech.
Oh, interesting. Then all the better that we leave. I don't think we should camp near here. I think we should camp further away from it.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay. So you get back on the road, refreshed, and ready to head out. You can continue south for as long as you'd like. You can keep it within eye distance, or you can get it out of your mind completely.
No, I think we want to get out of sight of it.
Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind.
Okay. So you head to where you can no longer see this oasis. The temptation of the trees and the grass are no longer within sight, contrasting against the tan sand color. And you set up camp and wait until the sun to go down. Okay. You again wait until sunset, break camp, and continue on your path down southward towards Calimport. Continuing the order of before, where Ponderance was taking the torch. Ponderance, Ashe, Aja, Cahoon, Sheila, and Loki. And as you are walking, as you are walking down south, in the cool air with the heat of the sand on your feet, Ponderance, you are out front, but also Loki and Ashe. The three of you first hear something. You hear like a low growl coming from in front of you. You can't see anything yet. It's beyond your vision, even with the torch. But you hear a low growling and gargling.
Is there a moon out tonight?
There is, but it is the smallest crescent. I don't remember if that's a waning crescent or waxing gibbon. Whichever one is the small one.
Both the crescents are equally as small, just in opposite orientation.
It'd be a waning then, because it's getting smaller.
Okay.
Right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
The gibbon is the largest before it gets to full moon. Or after
Yes.
it. Okay.
Gibbous is the fat
Gibbous. Okay.
How dare you assume the moon's orientation?
one. Gibbons are monkeys.
Yes, and monkeys like to show their full moon.
Give us this day.
Are you...
It's a giant monkey face.
It's a
not
monkey butt.
rabbit. It's not a rabbit or a man. It's a gibbon.
That's no face.
So yeah, it's a crescent. There is some light, but it's not as strong as the torch that Ponderance is carrying.
But it's not.
You
a
mentioned
full
this to the rest of the party.
Yes.
Okay. Do you stop travel south, or do you continue forward?
I will mention it and suggest that we stop going south. But leave it up to the party to decide.
Why don't I go on ahead a little bit and just check things out? I'll just go stealthily.
Can you do stealthily?
I can try.
Hey,
Yeah. Would you like to keep the torch lit, or are you putting it out?
I'll put the torch out.
Okay. The torch goes out. You are now in darkness. Those with dark vision can see ahead. Those without can only see what little light the moon provides. Basically just like 5 feet in front of you. You can see your other party members, but nothing else. And Loki, I want you to make a stealth roll. And anyone else who'd like to sneak up ahead, try and get a good idea of what this is.
Who all is going?
So far,
Hello.
just Loki.
I'll go with Loki too.
I don't know why that had advantage on.
I guess.
It doesn't take into account that you have mithril armor on, so we'll take the 23.
I'll stay back with the torch and keep an eye out, be a distraction.
I guess I will also stay.
Okay. So, Loki, Aja, you very quietly move on ahead to try and see what is this noise that you hear. As you get closer, Aja, you can start to hear the sounds of growling and starting to hear some like snapping sounds as well, as if like wood being snapped. But you've only seen the palm trees, and those don't have branches, so you don't quite know what that means. As you sneak forward, you get within your dark vision range. Loki, is it 60 feet or is it?
Well, when I'm carrying a stone rune, as I am now, I have dark vision out to 120 feet.
Okay. So Loki, you're the one that sees this first. You see 3 figures hunched over what looks like it would have been a campsite where someone set up, and you see these 3 figures hunched over. They look like they're the ones making the sound, though you can't quite get a good glimpse at what they are. Their backs are towards you.
Do they look like they're up to no good?
In the neighborhood,
I mean, does it look like this is their campsite, or does it look like this is someone else's campsite that they are
without
raiding?
light to provide sight for like color, you really can't tell. It's all in black and white, so it's really difficult to tell what these people are doing. You just hear the sounds. You see that they're crouched over. It looks like they could be in pain, or it looks like they're all huddled together.
Okay. Okay, so I can't tell from what I can see whether this is for good or ill. It could be either way.
You'd have to get close to really get a better idea. Aja,
Okay.
This is beyond your dark vision, so you can't quite tell.
Would I know if I would be able to use one of my arrows for this? Or because it's dark, doesn't have that ability?
Is there a limit? Does it say you have to have dark vision, or does it say you can see through the arrows?
It just says, it says for the duration, you can use an action to see and hear through the sensor, as if you were in its space until the start of your next turn.
Oh yeah, so you'd be able to, if you were in that space, you'd have dark vision within that space. So it'd still be in black and white, but you could see the figures doing their thing.
Okay. So I'm gonna use one of these. Yeah, I'm gonna fire this special arrow.
Okay. So you shoot it in the direction you believe, or do you want to get close enough to see? Do you want to get within 60 feet?
Yeah, I'd probably shuffle a little closer.
Okay, so you can get a good shot to probably not hit any of the creatures, but
I'm going to stay right beside her.
Okay, yeah.
It says I can see up to 120 feet directly above me. So I need to be within 120 feet of this sensor. Of this drone.
Okay. So as you get closer, you see these 3 figures crouched over. You can't tell what you're doing. Tell what they're doing. But you can fire. Where within the vicinity would you like to fire it?
I think I'm wanting to fire just above them, like maybe 20, 30 feet above them, so that I can have like a top-down view of what it is they're doing. So I get a clear understanding of are they eating something? Are they... I guess I want a top-down view of the campsite, as it were.
Okay, yeah. You fire up at an angle to where you perceive to be that spot, and the arrow bursts into a cloud of feathers. And through your eyes, you look down and you see the remains of a campsite. From this distance, you see that there are people on the ground, and it looks like these three creatures are eating the people on the ground.
Ew.
You still really can't tell anything because you can't see color, but they are definitely have a sinister method behind it.
Can I tell what these creatures look like?
Not from top down.
Can I understand maybe how long this campsite, like, was this a fresh campsite? Was this like a campsite that was from a few days ago? There's no fire burning, I'm assuming, so.
No. Make a quick perception to, like, see if you can tell.
Sure.
Or investigation.
Investigation or perception? Which one do you want me to use? Does it matter?
Nope.
Okay. I'll use perception. That's a 24.
Okay. You can tell it's new. It's less than 24 hours set up. It
I'm gonna, like, kind of whisper to Loki, like, looks like it's a campsite. It's fresh. It's the people are dead. I can't identify what those creatures are, but they're eating the remains of the people that owned this campsite. Seems
They're eating them?
Yes. If we want to take care of this, we might want backup. You want me to call for the rest of the party to come?
Yes, you better
Okay.
do that.
I'm going to touch my earring, and then I'm gonna send descending. And I'm gonna send it to Ashe. And I'm going to say, we've investigated sound, campsite, full of dead, getting attacked, eaten by creatures unknown. Need help.
I will rally the troops, and say, it sounds like those creatures have attacked that campsite, so we are going to step in and take care of it.
All right, I'll go along and help.
I'll turn to Loki and be like, help is on the way.
Sweet. I head off at the start of, I don't know, whoever follows me.
There are two people who do not have dark vision. Would they like torch?
I don't have.
I think Ponderance
Yeah, no,
was
I'm not-
standing there with a torch still.
Well, it was snuffed out.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I'm going along with the guy with the torch.
Okay. Well, with the light, you run forward. It don't need to stealth because you got bright light centered on you. So you run forward, and you see Loki and Aja, and the light will hit the creatures that are bent over at this campsite. And when they notice that something is finally behind them, they look back and have a low growl and hiss. And you see these three creatures. And everyone roll for initiative.
Take fire! Take fire!
I'm assuming. Let's see.
I don't know what the heck those are.
They're gross. That's what they are. 3 eyes. Weird, scraggly beards.
Just waiting on Cahoon. Is Cahoon at the computer?
Don't know. Let me go see.
Did you not get any of that?
Sheila and Cthulhu are gonna have to tie. Who has the higher dex?
I mean, you can see by 1.
Well, okay, so you have
you're
in
right.
mind?
No, because Sheila says she's got a 2.
Yeah, Sheila by 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said me by 1.
No, someone said Sheila and I said by 1.
Okay. Theater of the Mind, you're about 60 feet since we said that Aja and Loki were at Aja's vision. So
Right?
you can all plainly see these 3 creatures. They look up at you, their open, teethed mouths, sharp teeth, hissing and growling, dripping with blood. You can tell that they had been chewing on bones. That's what the snapping was when you approached. Loki, you are up first.
Hi, what sharp TVs you have?
I run about 20 feet closer to them and throw a hand axe.
All right. That hits.
Does everyone...
Why is that so loud? Thank you.
Is there a specific one you want to hit? Like, they're kind of in a ring, so one here would be closest to you.
The one that is closest to me, even if it's just barely closer.
Yep.
And I think that's it.
All right. You can attack again, right? Unless you don't have any.
Oh, that's right. I have 2 attacks.
Jeez.
Okay. Well, I've got plenty of axes, so I'm going to throw another one. Whoops! Damn it! Oh, that's the wrong list.
It's also a
Another-
hit.
Okay. I got good rolls.
You throw 2 hand axes at this creature. It strikes it in the shoulder and the chest, and it screeches at you. Aja.
Yes. I will. They're still gripped up, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to Ooh. Because the spell using the spell slot is second level or higher than 10 for each slot above first. Sure, we'll do that. I'm gonna do bonus action Hail of Thorns. This is the first level. And I'm gonna attack.
So that, what does that do?
The next time you hit a creature within a ranged weapon attack before the spell ends, this spell creates a rain of thorns that sprouts from your ranged weapon or ammunition. In addition to the normal effect of the attack, the target of the attack and each creature within 5 feet of it must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 1d10 piercing damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one.
All right.
And I
so
assume
you-
they're still all grouped up, so I'm gonna throw my weapon. I'm gonna shoot.
Yeah.
That's a 20 plus 2
that hits.
to the one that Loki hit. So that's 8 piercing. And then the 7 piercing. So they all need to roll dex saves. And then for my second attack.
Okay, so you shoot at the first one. It it strikes the first one square in the head, and it falls back, and then the thorns go and just spray into the other 2. They both get hit by that.
So one fell down?
So one died.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna, for my second attack, I'm just gonna get another one. That's a 15. This guy.
That also hits.
Excellent. He takes 11 piercing.
You strike into the other one. It kind of stumbles back a bit, but screams again at you.
I give middle finger. End my turn.
Okay, Sheila.
I will try Ray of Sickness on this one here if I'm close enough to do that.
Yes, you are. 11 does
Okay.
hit.
The spell. Oh, cast at what level? Sorry. There we go.
Okay. You managed to hit it square in the face. It just like, it looks like it's been slapped in the face and just like turns back at you, eyes glowing.
Okay.
Would you like to get closer at all?
Yeah, I'll use my. I'll step in a little closer so I can use my rapier next. My rapier.
How close do you get?
Within rapier distance, whatever that is. I don't
Well,
know.
you're 60
Close
feet
enough to-
away.
Oh well, I'll use. I'll get 30 feet closer.
Okay. Cahoon?
How close are we? I mean, did they
They're all
went
s-
off, they
They're all
went
60
off.
feet.
Okay.
You caught up to them.
All right. Okay. Can I even see them?
Yeah, they're Ponderance has a torch out. You can see him.
Okay. I guess I'll just use my full movement. The closest, they are 60 feet, or the team is 60 feet?
You're all 60 feet from the creatures. You're all together.
Except Loki.
Except
Okay, I
Loki
see.
and Sheila, who just moved.
Yeah. I'm now 40 feet away from them, from the group, and Sheila's 30 feet away from the group. Everybody else is 60 feet away.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to use my full 30 to move in front. And they seem pretty weak.
Well, Loki
How much
hit
is
it.
this?
Loki hit it with 2 axes, and then Ashe hit it with an arrow, and it went down.
Okay, quite a bit. I don't remember. I don't have the sword anymore, do I?
No.
It is in Ashe's bag of holding.
Lame. I'm just gonna. If I hold my attack till one of them gets close to me, do I just get the one attack and not my second attack for attacking?
Yeah, you get the 1 attack.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll just do that. I'll just move up and hold my action until one of them gets close.
Okay. Yeah. You move up next to Sheila, and prepare your bring down the hammer. Sarah will. She will shoot her ray of frost at the furthest one. That's not allowed. It slows down, but it's still doesn't quite do what she'd want. She's only level 2. So. But that is her turn. That one's dead. Ashe.
I get a turn. I'm still a little ways away, right?
You are still 60 feet.
60 feet. I will move up 30 feet, and then... Which one of these is the... I will cast Guiding Bolts to whichever one is closest to me. If they are both the same, then closest to one of my party.
This one has been struck a couple times. This one has been hit once.
The one that's been hit once. That's not helpful. And I can't re-roll that. Fun.
Okay, so you shoot this bolt of light at these creatures, and you strike their meal, the people that were on the ground that they were feasting on, and it bursts in a shower of light. Anything else you'd like to do?
I will cast spiritual weapon. No, I can't. It's another regular spell. Never mind. No, that's it.
Okay. This one will run up to Cahoon and Sheila. Cahoon, you can make your attack now. Cahoon, make your swing. He's there. Yeah, that hits. As it runs up and attempts to grab at the two of you, you just bring down your hammer and smash it before it can make any moves before you. It is dead. But this other one will make its movements up to the two of you and will make a slash at Sheila. Sheila, what's your AC?
My AC is 19.
Okay. It just takes down its large, overly sized hands, and smacks you. You take 6 bludgeoning.
I wanted to use my reaction for runic shield.
Okay. So Cahoon, you used your reaction for your ready attack.
Chance.
But what is your runic shield?
See if I can bring it up for you. That's it.
Okay.
So he has to re-roll.
It brings down its slippery hands, and when it's about to hit you, it looks like it gets distracted by something, and it just like slams the ground next to you, unable to connect. But with its other arm, it'll come up and try and hit you once more.
Right.
You take 4 bludgeoning. And I want you to make a con saving throw. Okay. So you are hit by this thing, and you feel the spot that it was in. It left a bruise, and you can feel that kind of itch and scratch, but you managed to resist whatever it was. Next up is Ponderance.
Okay.
We left one for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm sitting here deciding whether it's worth any key points or not. But I don't think I've done a regular monk unarmed strike without my fancy arms. So I may just go for some big punches. So I'm going to walk up to the last one. That as it stepped up, right?
Yes,
Making
it's right next to Sheila and Cahoon.
Great. Let's hit him once.
That hits. All right.
And twice.
That hits. Yeah. Yep.
Still going?
How do you finish off this creature?
My thought was maybe one to the gut, one to the head, and it just falls back. Maybe head rolls off.
You punch it in the face, and whatever it was chewing on previously gets spit out as it falls to the ground. All
Yeah,
right.
cool.
Everyone
I
had.
kept thinking the queen was an enemy for a second. It's like, I still got a bonus action.
You're still ready to go. All right, that was combat.
Just a little amuse-bouche there for combat. Taste tickler.
All right, so, yeah, you see these 3 creatures. There's 2 directly in front of Sheila and Cahoon. That were not really able to make too much damage. There's still one at the campsite that was littered with ranged attacks. What would you like to do?
Apparently, be blind.
Investigate. Also be blind.
Anyone else can roll investigation to see what they can discern from.
Sure, I will.
Mine was for looking at the bodies.
Oh, god damn it.
Which bodies? The creatures or the feast you were feasting?
The creatures originally.
Cahoon and Ponderance, what are you looking at? What are you looking for?
I just want to investigate the creatures as well, try and discern what they are, they're doing.
See the people.
Okay.
That
Cahoon,
got aided.
Yeah.
I'm
you
apparently
go
looking
over.
at my shoes.
Cahoon, you go over to the bodies. It seems like you're the only one interested in what the creatures were eating. And you're looking it over, and they look like there's some of the civilians who were at the oasis. They went on ahead of you. They didn't camp while you camped during the day, and so they did make a little bit of a headway before you got there. But it seems like that was they met an untimely end at this point. They met up with some creatures. And Ponderance, you are looking at the creatures themselves. You notice that they are not from... It looks like they wouldn't be from the world you know. It looks like they're kind of from a different plane. You can make a history check if you'd like to determine what they might be. But as you are looking over the bodies, you can tell that they are wearing clothes, and the clothes they are wearing are very similar to the ones that you found that the people were wearing at the oasis. Civilians as well. You're not quite sure exactly where they're from, but you would determine that these creatures are aberrations.
Gotcha.
Can we? I assume that probably gets told that they were wearing clothes.
Oh.
Can I do? Try to remember if the people that turned into the creatures, were seen like bathing in or drinking the water.
You can make a history check to see if you remember which ones were doing what. It's hard to tell. You could have sworn that pretty much everyone at the oasis was like actively enjoying the water, either drinking it or being inside of it. But you probably can determine that something was more potent in this fact and caused this change to happen.
Do I reckon, like, are these creatures, do they speak deep speech?
You don't know. These creatures are brand new to you. You have not seen them before. I'm not sure if Ponderance would tell you about their aberrations. He doesn't know where they came from. He just knows that they are creatures that have been formed.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
They're tents. Do they have tents, or are they just
check
walking?
their tents? Yeah. There are a couple tents nearby. You can go and look inside. It's pretty easy to see with the light. You see just basic like hiking gear. You see like items of clothing that have been laid out ready for the swap once they're themselves are dry enough to get into dry clothing. What are you looking for? Something?
I don't know, anything odd or of note?
You do see that there's 2 tents. There were 6 individuals total. But just 2 tents large enough to fit 3 people each. And in both of the tents, you see that they were, at the time, they were probably getting ready to eat. You see utensils out, plates, stuff for cooking materials. Even though a fire wasn't started, it looks like they were getting ready to cook food. And you notice that their tankards and water skins are open and draining into the sand, just haphazardly on the ground.
What is open and draining into the sand, sorry?
Their water skin?
All from all of them, or from one tent in particular?
Both tents you find just wet sand beneath these water skins. Like they were tipped out, just sitting there.
What would we infer from that? Anything specific? Why would their water happen to be spilled out? Why?
I think, isn't there a way to check the water?
I don't know if I have that prepped. I mean, there's purify food and drink. I don't know if there's...
If you purified it, squeal. funny.
So there were 3 creatures. How many people were on the ground?
There were 6
3.
total.
3 bodies
Okay.
and 3 creatures. You can tell by the 2 tents that they had 3 people each.
Okay. I guess I can do it as a ritual, but that takes how long?
10 minutes.
10 minutes plus whatever time it takes to cast.
An action. So
So
I
10
guess I
minutes.
can cast Detect Poison and Disease. On the water.
Okay, in that time, would anyone else like to do anything?
I retrieved my axes.
I can retrieve my arrows.
Yeah, you both get
I'll
all
Retrieve
your
my
ammunition.
fists.
Do I
Put those guns away.
Did anyone recognize what the creatures were, the aberrations?
Nobody knew from where they came. They just knew that they were aberrations.
Okay. Is there anything about their features or something that like we could take with us that would be identifiable to somebody, possibly?
You can probably stuff them inside the bag of holding if you have that space.
Do we need
Here,
to
I'll cut off head. I'll start cutting off a head. And
Do we
put
need
in
to
the bag of
salt it?
holding.
Do we need to salt it first?
No, I don't need the salt. It's fine. It'll be nice and preserved in bag of holding. Just like all of the meats.
Okay.
As fresh and warm as the day I killed it. But I need to roll to cut off head of one of these creatures.
An attack roll with your weapon.
I have a dagger.
I assist.
That'll do. You have advantage because you have assistance.
That's
I
a
help.
25.
I stand behind you and put my arms around your arms to guide your movements.
It's Ghost.
What
yeah.
a 25.
Yeah, it takes a while, or not a while, it takes a little bit because you're using your dagger. You slowly cut into it. But this time, you can do that in the 10 minutes that Ash is casting the spell. Ash, you do detect disease coming from the ground underneath the tents and from the people who collected the water at the oasis.
Okay. I will point out that the disease seems to be in the ground and we probably shouldn't stay here.
Or drink water.
How much
Or-
does a head weigh? 3 pounds?
Probably.
Don't want to Google it to get on some list, you know? So,
Probably like 10 pounds. Maybe?
dang. 5 pounds?
I think
5
that's
pounds.
I think 8 pounds
Yeah.
maybe.
8 pounds. Okay.
Yeah, more than 5, less than 10.
It's a good compromise.
I've never averaged them out after weighing, so I can't tell you for sure. But
When you were a kid and you laid your head on the scale to see how much your head weighed, and then you looked at the scale and it's like 0. 0. My head weighs nothing.
I am an idiot. No wonder my parents always say my head's full of nothing.
Okay, yeah. So what else would you like to do? You got a head from one of these creatures.
Excellent. Start digging a hole to bury these human bodies.
It's super easy. It's sand, so it doesn't take too long to get these sand graves. All right. What would you like to do next?
Well, I suppose we should probably hit hay or something, right? Let's take a nap. Or no, it's dark, right? We
Yeah,
should
it's still
probably
dark.
keep moving instead of wasting time.
Yeah, and we don't want to stay here
No, let's
and end up with the same fate.
to Calimport. We're close, right?
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Yeah. Onward.
Onward.
All right, so you head out, leaving the bodies behind. You continue on south and walk until the sun starts to come up, and as you see off in the distance, it'll probably be another hour or two, but you can see that the city of Calimport on the horizon.
Oh, heck yeah!
If you'd like, you can push on through the day.
Let's push on. Push on! We're so
Yeah.
close!
I think we go ahead and push on.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So you continue on with the sun rising. It does feel warmer, but it's no problem. You're almost to your destination. And as you're walking, you see a small figure, probably 2-3 feet tall. It looks like a white canopy is above this creature's head. As it's walking, you can see it kind of waddle. You can see beyond it slightly that it has a large sack on its back, and as it gets closer to you, the figure in front of you leans back to allow the canopy to get out of the way as it looks on you, and you all see a halfling woman. She looks like she is quite on in age, probably 70 or 80 years old. And she looks at you, and it looks like there's a she has like a one of those vendor, where they have it at ball games with the straps that come down and it has like all the stuff in front of him.
Oh yeah, the concessions tray that you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that in front of her. The canopy was over her head, shielding her face from the sun. And on the tray in front of her, you see various sizes of pieces of cactus that are laid out. And she looks up at all of you and in a raspy voice, she says, "Can I interest you in some goods? I know it's hot out, but I want to sell you some goods, get some water in you. Are you interested?"
I look over her wares.
Okay. You look. There are various sizes of cacti. It looks like her hands would be small enough to where she can just grab one of them without getting poked. But if you were to grab it, it would be a little bit more dexterous on your part. But she looks like she's selling bulbous cactus pieces so that you would be able to drink from it. If you want, I can sell one of these for you. It'll keep you dehydrated for a day. It's 2 silver. But if you want, I can sell you a big one. Keep you satisfied for a week for 20 silver.
I just need the little one, thank you.
Much appreciated. I'm glad to be helping out people on their way inside the city. I know it's
2
hot
silver.
out.
Okay.
I'll take a small one too.
She will hand you one. I want you both to make straight dexterity checks to try and not prick yourselves on the spines.
I'm assuming Cthulhu is close to us.
This is not a saving throw. This is a straight dex roll.
Oh.
This is a roll for competency.
Okay, yeah, you all, like, she hands it to you like it's no problem, but as you try and grab it, you get your fingers between the spikes, the spines, and are able to grab it. If you want, you can start by squeezing a little bit of water into your mouth. And she says, is there anyone else would like to try something? You look like a bunch of strong people. You don't necessarily need it, so I appreciate the work, the money you're bringing in. I worked hard to get these goods. If this isn't quite what interests you, I got some other goods for you. It looks like you're pretty well off. I can offer you a bag that has a lot of water in it. In fact, it never runs out. Because of that reason, I'm selling it for 100 gold.
I'll take that.
Okay. You take it.
Give her 1 plat.
Oh my, that's
100 gold. Yeah.
Yes, but I don't see a lot of this outside the city. I appreciate the small wares. And she rummages around her little tray and pushes aside a bunch of pieces of cactus and pulls out this about frisbee-sized wooden case, and it has 3 yellow leaves on top, and she says, "This is a real good one if you're trying to survive out in the desert. I know you're going into the city, but if you ever come back out, this might be really helpful for you. If you put stuff in it, it will quickly turn it into something else. Since it's such a valuable item, I'm gonna sell it to you. Since you already bought my bag of water, no questions asked. I'll sell it to you for a simple 400 gold."
What is it?
It's hard to describe, but if you put stuff in it, it changes it into something that's more nutritious. Like if you put milk, fresh milk inside, it'll make cheese or butter. It's pretty cool.
I have a box that can make cheese.
Oh, that's...
Would you like to try some?
Well, I would love to. If you're taking this item off my hands, then I think I would like some cheese before it leaves my hands.
Anyone want to buy this item?
What is it again?
It's like a magic box, and she says if you put milk in it, it will turn it into like cheese or butter.
Oh, no, I'm not that track. Sorry.
I'm not supposed to eat dairy.
Oh, it can do other things. If you put some kind of fruit inside, it makes cider and wine, if that's your interests.
Can you like tell it what to make with the product? Like if I put in like apples, can I ask for an apple pie?
Oh
like,
no, it only does mostly liquids. It can't really actually bake anything. It's not a cooking. But while you're thinking about it, this is the bag that Ashe just bought.
damp. I got a damp bag of tricks. Oh no, the cereal's all
That's
soggy.
amazing.
Well, if you don't want the tub, I can understand. You just bought 100 gold worth of something. If there's anything else you need, anyone want a large cactus piece? That's fine with me. But
I thought this was like a bag of forever water.
it is. It's always wet. Isn't that what you wanted?
Well, okay. I guess. Oh, that's on me.
It's a good deal.
I should have asked more questions.
Yeah, you were pretty enthusiastic about it, but it'll sell for more if you're in town. I just thought you'd might like a good deal on this one, since you are so appreciative of my work.
Swear to
Selling
God.
cactus.
What's your name?
Why do you want to know my name? Me trying
Well,
to.
it's in case I want to come back. Like buy other stuff.
Oh, if you want to come back, I'm around here. I always sell cactus to these people around here. But
Oh,
you really don't need to know my name. I've been tricked before. You can't steal my name or my identity. But you can purchase my items. I'm okay with that.
I feel swindled.
You were swindled.
Yeah.
But I assure you, this tub really does what I'm saying.
No.
If you want to wait 10 minutes, we can put something in it. And it'll do its thing. You guys got any fresh fruit? Maybe some veggies? You got any vinegar? It makes some pretty good, pickled stuff.
No.
Alright, your loss.
Yep.
God, I could summon one aquatic creature.
And if you don't have anything else you want to buy from her, she'll start moving on.
You can nickname it the Bag of Dampions.
Bag of dampions. Oh God. What's a quipper?
It's a fish.
Oh. Interesting.
It's I believe it's similar to a piranha. It's a carnivorous fish.
I can summon a reef shark, or a crocodile, or a giant crab, or a roctopus.
Yeah, what else you got in there, Misty?
I got
Did you say a
seahorse.
roctopus?
Yeah, it says giant roctopus. Don't know what that is.
Sounds sexual.
She will move on. There are people going out of Calimport that she'll go and be like, if you want to stay hydrated, you gotta get your cactus before you leave. Get your cactus here.
She's selling it to them for 10 silver.
Well, she's selling the small one for 2 and the big one for 20.
I just thought she would try to take advantage of the people who are actually going into the desert
She's got variable rate
and
cactus.
charge them more.
The prices get higher the more people buy. Because she's losing inventory, so
It's limited
No.
more
quantity.
scarce.
Get it while
price
you
is
can.
The price is determined by how you look.
Do you guys look like you could beat
By
me
how
up?
gullible
I'm gonna
you
give you a
look.
deal.
All right. Well, you want to continue on into the city?
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
It's almost 10.
Sweet. All right. So you walk,
Just want to level up.
continue into the city. It has these massive walls. It seems like the guards outside are pretty lenient. They're just there to make sure there's no trouble. but you freely walk into the city, and when you do, you immediately hear the sounds of just the hustle and bustle of a major city.
All right. Now we got to destroy items, right? How do we do this? Where do we go? I think that should be stop number 1.
Okay. Ash, you do know that these artifacts need a temple to be destroyed at.
We will need to find a temple that can destroy the artifacts for us.
Okay,
And
is there any...
We would also like to find someone who can do some identify. Because I need to know more about this lantern that we found. And I'd like to know something about this prismatic, whatever it is, the prismatic cube, before we destroy it. Does anybody have any idea how we can find someone to do some identifying work on these?
I mean, maybe temple. Maybe it's like a
Yeah,
two for
or
one, you know?
magic shop.
Yeah.
I was just gonna go to the nearest guard, if there is a guard.
Yeah, you can just head to a guard. You see there are a lot here. Unlike Baymarsh, it's kind of more trusting. Here you see a lot of guards just everywhere, keeping an eye on things. More people means more employed. So yeah, you walk up to them. They look like they're wearing pretty good scale mail or plate or half plate armor. Sort of a tan to match the dunes around it.
Okay. Ivana, we're new here. Just came in. We're looking for like a place of worship, temple or something of Lotash, whatever. What is your god?
We appreciate all gods. It is, what are you looking for specifically? Do you want the biggest ones?
Sure.
Well, everyone likes Daimora. She's the god of fortune. It's not the biggest one, but she's pretty good. If you want,
Is there like magic? Is there a magic god?
oh, there are a lot of magic gods.
No, like god of magic. Or god of knowledge.
That is what I mean. Yes, there are a lot.
Okay.
Solinari, Lunitari, whoever you like. Mystera?
Mystera sounds familiar. Mystera. Let's do Mystera.
If you want the most famous god, you go to WoW King.
WoW King?
WoW King, yes.
King. Okay. Which direction?
He points to the west side. He says, if you go around, you will see the trade district. You go through there, and a little bit down south, you will find much of the worship area. You can't miss WoW King's temple. It's the biggest.
Okay. Wonderful. Masaranas. I don't know if the group came with me, but I ask Ash, like, I don't know what your grad is, but like, Mystera sounds good. WoW King is biggest temple here. He said go west. So we go west.
Okay. Maybe we try this slightly smaller one first.
Sure. I at least want to get this sword destroyed. I think.
Mm.
Right? Destroy sword.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you head around. It's really easy to make your way towards that area. Between each of the districts is a massive wall, segregating off each area. You make your way east. You go through a middle class area. It's pretty nice. There are a couple larger buildings that will indicate um, just wealth within the city. You make your way to the trade area, and this seems to be the largest area. There is a massive roofed bazaar in the center. You see a lot of people coming in and out. You see, as you're heading south to the area that he mentioned, you see a smaller bazaar off to the side. Lots of tents set up here. These are more for the traveling merchants. The larger covered bazaar is more for local people selling their stuff and getting all trade and whatnot. And then you head through another set of walls and you get to the worship area. When you first enter, you can see this massive temple. It looks like it's in real world it'd be a dozen city blocks long. It's huge. And across from that to the east, there are a lot more smaller temples that are scrunched together. They seem to be just scattered around. You can see a lot of people going in and out of the bigger temple, and it's still busy around the smaller ones, but there's still just people scattered around. So you are headed to Maestra? Is that what you said?
I believe so. Yeah, we wanted to check out the smaller one first.
Okay. Yeah, you head over there. You head inside, and you see it's just not really something you've seen before. In Daymarsh, there was some people going in and out, but for the most part, it was just a very quiet, solemn place of prayer and worship. Here, it's very similar to the bazaar you just saw, where people are it kind of feels like people are buying their forgiveness or getting out of their judgment through coin. Most of you know that Calimport is a money-heavy town. There are a lot of money talks here, and it's just an influx and whatnot of this stuff. But yeah, it's pretty loud. If you want, you can find someone in vestments to talk to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You walk up to what looks like a priest. It's an elven woman with darker skin. She's got long robes. That just looks like she's just a bundle of clothing with a head. You approach her.
Oh, Anathara. We're looking for someone to help identify some items we have. Is that something? They're magical of origin. Hey,
I'm sorry. I have. She digs in it. I had something in my ear. Can you repeat that?
Yes. We're looking for someone here in this temple who could help identify some magic items that we have.
Oh, yes. All right. I can identify the ones you have in question. What would you like? It'll be a measly 12 gold for
What?
each item. Yes, it's not cheap.
Well, fantastic. Did you guys hear that? It's 12 gold for identification. Do we pay it?
I think we will manage it.
That is.
Can I roll an insight to see if she's actually being honest and genuine? Not a scam?
You can make an insight or history check.
I'm gonna go insight. 16.
I mean, yeah, she's not. Doesn't look like she's trying to scam you. It's. You can remember that in the past, it's expensive to cast a spell to identify certain items.
Okay.
It might be a little bit more expensive than what should be, but it's still a price to pay.
12 gold. I'm going to remove the sword out of my bag of holding.
No, I think you should.
Oh?
I think you should be in another room.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can we go somewhere private to do this?
No, I'm saying that I think you need to be in another room.
A separate room from the sword.
Oh.
So you leave the bag? I mean, I don't understand why we need to identify it if we're just gonna have it obliterated anyway.
Well, that's true.
I need to just have my this hooded lantern we found identified.
I agree. That is very interesting. I'm not sure about the I don't know.
So I will hand over 12 gold and ask her to identify this lantern.
Okay. It also remember it does take a little bit of time, and make sure you have everything ready. But I can start the identification process. And she looks over and waddles over to a stool that's there for anyone who wants to do it. And she sits down and offers out a hand for the item.
I hand her the lantern, and then I say, I also have this prism. And I'm gonna hand her the prism. Pay another 12 gold.
Yes.
Okay.
She will take the lamp first, and she'll reach into her robes and pull out a fairly good-sized pearl, and with them both in hand, she will close her eyes, and after a minute, it feel like she's possibly fallen asleep, and then she opens her eyes bright, and she says, This is a very nice item. It is called a Wisplight Lantern. It is for finding out how people died in the past. If you want, you can use it like a normal lantern too, but this is what it does.
What exactly does it tell you?
If you touch a corpse you can see, you will see the last 6 seconds of how it lived and then died.
Well, that's interesting and useful.
That would have been
Thank
useful
you.
for those bodies we found.
You just want to see them get chewed on?
Well, I mean, maybe we could have figured out what happened to the water or whatever. Like, maybe they were drinking the water, and then they were attacked. And that would explain the spilled water, but we don't know, do we?
I mean, 6 seconds isn't that long.
9 6 seconds.
And it's like you're getting assassinated by someone unclose. Is it just them or is it other people? Do you get to see how they died? Like, if they got shot by an arrow, like who shot the arrow, or is it just arrow impacting body and they just fall over?
You only see the how the creature itself died. You don't see any outside object or other creatures.
Yeah. So it's just seconds of them going, blah. Well, that's interesting. Still,
And she will take the prism, and another minute goes by as she identifies the item, and when she does, her eyes will go very wide, and she says, "I have heard of this. You wow, you are so brave to go for this item. It is the prism of the chromatic wild. It is sought out by many people. If you... It must be destroyed immediately."
Is that something you can do?
No. If you would like this item to be destroyed, you need to go over to the large temple across the way. They are only powerful enough to take care of it.
Oh, you mean WoW King?
But what does the
Yes.
prism do?
Oh, if you cast a spell on it, it projects another spell. It's very chaotic. There's many things it can do. It can change the color of your hair. It can age you. It can create destructive magic very quickly. It is a chaotic item.
Okay.
I was unaware that you were the people who brought the. I will not charge you for any more identified items.
just be glad that you didn't have to see the sword.
What sword?
No, it's okay. You don't.
I can pull it out. Do you want me to pull it out? I can pull it out.
No.
You want to
If
see a sword?
If you have any other items, I suggest you immediately take it to Wao Kin.
Oh.
He will do his best to aid his followers in destroying these items.
Will they charge us? Do you know?
They shouldn't. If you present these items, they will understand that you are special adventurers.
All right. Well, Masaranas. I'm gonna start walking to the other temple.
She bows deep on her stool, almost falls over, but catches herself.
Thank you for your assistance.
Is a bow really still respectful if the person is sitting while doing it?
She's a very old woman. She
Okay.
She would
That's
like
fair.
to stay seated.
Takes me like a good 30 minutes to get back on this chair. I was just gonna head to Wow King. I'm assuming it's advertised. Because it's the biggest temple.
Oh yeah. She also gestured out to it and said it was the one across the way. So yeah, you go out, and if you'd like, she could identify more items, but I think you'd like to get the level soon. So you head across, and you head inside. Yeah, you head inside, and it feels like there's much more of a crowd in here, people coming and going all the time. You see immediately in the entrance area, you see a priest in robes. He's very tall, carrying a staff. Seems to be welcoming people. And as each person comes in and bows their head, he nods at them and says, "Well, be with you. Wow, King be with you. Wow, King be with you." So yeah, what would you like to do?
Is there like a line that we have to get into?
No, there's no line. It's just a crowd heading past him to get to the main worship area. He is carrying a censer that looks like it would be for burning incense if people weren't like slipping in a couple coins to it. Like a donation.
When Aja comes in, she's like, "Oh, Lavana, looking to have an item destroyed. Like a magic item that needs to be destroyed. Any person that can do that here? We were directed from the Mistra temple."
Why don't you just say that they're great items of magical evil?
No,
What is
specifically
this you speak of?
It's a sword. It gives me visions, bad visions. I think
Would
it's
like to speak
possessed.
to your manager?
I am the high priest.
Hmm.
If you have something to say, it is with me.
Sound like it?
Okay, well, should I pull sword out or?
No, you will not be pulling the sword out.
Okay, is there somewhere private we could go?
No, I don't mean that. I just mean you will not be within 30 feet.
What is it that you want? I'm unsure.
I'm pulling sword out.
These
I grab the sword out of my bag of holding.
I'm
Okay.
getting ready to cast Hold Person.
Sure.
You reach inside and grab it, and it's like unsheathing a massive sword as you pull
It's like
this
I'm pulling
great
a
sword.
gun out. This
Right.
is like, this is a hold up. Give me all your money.
When you do so, the people around you kind of like look at you like you are carrying a bunch of weapons on you, but you just pulled this massive great sword out of your bag of holding and held it up as if it was nothing. You yourself can feel that it looks like it's heavy, but it's not. It can be wielded with one hand. And I want Aja, you make a wisdom saving throw.
Sure. Cthulhu's near me, so I get that bonus, right?
Yeah, +4.
Thank God. Oh, yes.
Okay.
19 plus 4.
When you pull it out, you immediately smell that the sense of blood again in your mouth and nose, and your memories rush past to the night that you went into a rage in your own room, but you managed to fight off this overwhelming surge of whatever it is, and everyone around you like was putting a single coin into his censer, but they, as soon as you pull the sword out, they kind of make this ring around you and kind of avoid the high priest as they walk in. And the high priest himself looks at you and the sword that you pulled out and he says, "That is very impressive. Is this one of the items that have been lost, the artifacts?"
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Just give me the sword.
Well, it's fine. I can handle it. It just smells so bad.
I'm
Oh
taking
my
the
God.
sword.
If you're trying to keep it from him, you can either make a athletics or acrobatics to keep it.
Oh shit, there's no way I could beat that. Are you kidding me?
I mean, it's a crit, so unless you crit,
Yeah. No, it's an 18, so yeah.
just try and pull it
He
away
says-
from him as he just like wrenches it out of your hand.
Like I still smell it. It's you holding it doesn't change.
Just go a step back a couple ways. I don't understand.
I see that this item has brought great strife upon you. You are very brave to bring it to us, but yes, we can't destroy it. We have
Oh
been
no, I'm just
preparing.
trying to be all pious and torturing herself. It makes no sense.
We've been preparing for the day when someone would bring us this item. So if you will follow me, we will do that in private. And he starts walking to the side to a staircase that looks like it's nobody is going up the staircase. Everyone's going into the main hall. So as he's walking, he will look out into the main hall and very slowly nod as he makes his way up these stairs. And you all see when he nods, several of the priests and clerics of this temple will hand their stuff off to younger people, kind of like altar boys and whatnot, and them take care of the small work as they follow the high priest up the steps behind you. And he makes his way up this spiral staircase to an overhang. You follow him for a little bit longer, and it goes up into a large domed, a glass domed room. The light from the sun feels hotter up here as it's magnified through the glass. And he goes in. On the floor, there is an 8-sided star pattern on the ground that he moves to. He moves to the head, and the priests and the clerics behind you file into this room, and 7 others stand on the other points. And he says, "Please place the item in the center of the star, and we will take care of it."
You want to do the sword or the
Let's do the sword.
All
Sword
right.
first, other item next, or after. It stinks so bad.
So you bring the sword to the center and lay it down. As you do so, the high priest and the other people standing on the star points will pull out these satchels, kind of like a burlap sack, and the other clerics and priests behind you that aren't standing on the points will each come in with like a coin purse and pour many coins into the burlap sacks the priests around the star are holding. And with each one, they will say, "Well, King be with you, and also with you. Well, King be with you. Well, King be with you." And one of the younger priests will be nervous looking. Those with proficiency in insight will notice that he looks out of place, very nervous in this sense, as he makes his way to the high priest and dumps his coin purse into the thing. The high priest will say, "Well, King be with you," and the young guy will say, I'm not sure, I'm not sure if," and he says, "Be quiet, child. We are about to perform a ritual." And the boy is like, okay, yes, high priest," and he backs away. And
is that guy part of the ritual?
he looks like the other clerics and priests here, in the vestments of Wowkeen.
Does he seem to think there's something wrong with the ritual?
He's you can roll insight if you want to check the intentions of this person.
Yes, I do.
You can tell that he's visibly upset. There's something wrong with what's about to happen. Aja, you can tell that he knows something's wrong, but is trying to keep with the order of the high priest and say nothing.
Alright, perhaps we should hear his concerns before we make a grave mistake.
"It is not necessary. If you have brought this item to us, we must destroy it immediately." And
What is it, boy? What are you going to say?
he tightens the burlap sack and holds it up. These are much like if you fill a sock with nickels, and it looks like they're about to bash the sword in the center with these burlap sacks. And Cahoon, you go to the boy and talk to him, and he kind of looks up at you, and it's very quiet, and he shakes his head and makes the zipper mouth, shush now noise. or gesture.
I'm gonna say like, tell me before something goes wrong.
Barry leans in a little bit in to you and says, "That's not an artifact.
What do you mean?
It's not real. People think it's real, but it's not." And the high priest and the other clerics start to like chant this prayer to Waukeen. Start making gestures around.
What do you think it is?
It is a sword. It's powerful, but it's not the artifact. I don't know where you got it, but it's not. I know what I see.
Does he
But
have
it
true
is-
sight?
It is possessed.
Nothing will bad will happen, but it's just not what you're looking for.
Interesting.
Would anyone like to do anything before they start bashing the sword?
I would like to cast protection against good and evil on myself.
Okay, yeah. The clerics and the priests in the room notice you're casting a spell while they're trying to perform a ritual and like unsure of why you're doing this. They actually know exactly the spell you're casting, and they kind of look at each other like, "You're in a holy place. Why are you doing this?"
Because I don't trust myself for whatever may happen when you start destroying the sword.
Okay.
It spoke to me, and I
Um,
don't want to listen to it.
Well, if no one else would like to do anything, they will begin.
I mean, I like the sword, but it's just not worth keeping it.
Okay. So they raise their burlap sacks, make a 8-sided star figure upon their forehead and chest, with the sacks in their hands, and reel back and start like hitting the sword with their sacks full of money, and as they do so, the sword starts to like bend and misshapen, and it gets pieces of it fly off in different directions, while they continuously bash the sword. And when it is no longer like an actual sword lying there, it's just mangled metal and pieces on the floor. The head priest will raise his satchel up to the ceiling and say, "Waukeen, bless this day as we have fulfilled the act of destroying an artifact." And they will all stand there waiting when nothing happens. And after a couple moments, the high priest will open his eyes and turn to Aja and say, "I thought you had brought us an artifact. We take this very seriously. What have you brought us this day?"
I thought it was an artifact. That's what we were told. And that it seems like people wanted it, so
It is it's a very powerful sword that made people go crazy.
That
we found
be
it in
it.
the fields of the Shar Plains.
That be true, maybe, but it is not of the ones that you were asked to take. And the boy finally like raises his hand, very quietly, but like trying to be noticed. And the high priest kind of like looks at him and is just like, "Yes, you may speak now." And the boy like very nervously, you can notice that he's like physically shaking, and he's like, so that yes, that sword is found in the Shar Plains, but it is not the unstoppable force as this party may have claimed. The name of that sword in particular, I do recognize it. It is by its shape and presumably what it's affecting people. That sword's name is Red Daring.
Have we
I
heard
think
of
it
this
was
sword?
named. I don't know if it's named that anymore.
Red herring? What?
Anyway, I guess we can. If you want to keep bashing things, we have the cube.
You have another item, a prism.
If Loki wants to part with it.
I want to be perfectly clear that this is an actual artifact. I understand that it's okay to destroy magic items, but we are using the faith of Wookiee to do
Yes,
this.
it is. We're not here to pull pranks on you.
Lay out the item that you have, then.
Does Loki give
I
up
look
the
to
item?
Loki.
It's a cool sword.
That explains all the fish dreams that I had.
Loki, are you there? As he went off to get a cigarette?
Are they both gone?
Yes.
Do you present the prism that you received?
Yes, I will present the prism I received.
Okay, you place it in the center of the star, and the high priest will look at you very suspiciously, kind of like, "Are you wasting their time?" kind of thing. And you stand back, and the boy looks very proud that he successfully identified an item from his teachings and whatnot. And once again, they will begin their prayer. They're chanting the eight-sided star, raise their burlap sacks of money up into the sky, and start bashing again. And this time, the prism in the center, the first time it gets hit, instantly turns black, and crackles of white lightning will shoot out from it, and all of the people who are not on the star will duck and try and get out of the way of these lightning crackles that are coming from each hit as it brings it down. And with this new strength, each of the clerics and priests on the stars will start hitting it faster to try and squell the evil from it. And with one final blow, the prism will shatter, and colorful lights of every color will shoot out in all directions, very similar to the Ark of the Covenant. But instead of melting faces, it gives you a level up.
It's perfect.
And with a level up, I want you all to roll a d20. I still need Sheila and Loki for a d20.
Good job, Brendan. 9/11.
Make a wish.
And on that depressing note, we'll end it there.
But what are the rolls for?
You'll find out next time on Regaining Lost Power.
Yes.
But that's so long.